Hi, my name is Deepak and you are watching to Tech Vigorous. And today we are going to see how we can deploy an Angular application on GitHub Pages for free. Yes. So basically for deploying any of the static website into the GitHub pages, there is the two way. The one and the basic and most simplest way is that you create your website using any of the framework, and once it's created, build your website. After building, once you have all your static files with you, just simply go to the your GitHub repository and commit the code, and then start serving your website from that repository. So that is the one of the way. But today what we are going to see is that is an automated way. Yes. So today we will be creating an Angular application, and just a simple Angular application, and we will be deploying it into the GitHub using an automated tool called GitHub Pages. There is one of the plugin for the Angular that help us deploy our code into the GitHub Pages. So let's get started. So for that, first of all, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create an basic Angular application. So I have already Angular CLI installed, so I'm just going to do ng new, and I'm just going to give my application name as sample, and then I'm just going to follow the default settings. So I'm here just creating an application. This is going to take a bit of time because it will be adding all those dependency, and then it will be installing all the dependency. So don't worry, this will just take a bit of time, and then your application will get started. Meanwhile, our application is created. Let's create an GitHub repository. So here I have created an GitHub account already. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to create an repository where basically our code will be stored, our all the static codes will be stored over there, and then it will be served from there. So for creating a website, for creating a repository, what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the repository name as my account name dot github.io. Why I am doing that, if you know about the GitHub already, if I'm following this convention, then my website URL will be the same, my repository name dot github.io. But if you are giving the any other name than this, then your URL will be your repository name dot github.io slash your repository name. So because I don't want to add an extra name to the URL, I'm just creating my repository with my repository name .github.io, and I'm just going to make it as public. And now let's just create the repository. So our repository have got created. Now what we have to do is that we have created an Angular application, and once it's created, we will try to build it and we will try to deploy it into this repository, and then we'll try to serve it from there. This is gonna take a bit of time, so I'm going to skip for now. You guys might have to wait for around 5 minutes to get it created and all the package installed. So the application have got created now, and I have just done the ng-serve to start the application locally. And when I hit the localhost 4200, you can see the sample application which is given by the Angular is up and running into my local. So now what we have to do is that I'm just going to stop this server, and the first thing what we have to do is that we have to add this Angular CLI GitHub Pages plugin to our application, so that we will be able to deploy it to the GitHub. So for adding it, that I'm just going to do ng and add, and then Angular CLI then gh pages. So this is the plugin which help us to deploy our application, Angular application, into the GitHub pages. So I'm just going to add this plugin into our application. Just wait a minute to get it added. Yes. So now that the dependency have got added to our application, we have to now commit it to the GitHub. So because we are not going to commit it by ourselves, the Angular CLI GitHub Pages plugin will be committing and deploying code to the GitHub Pages. The first thing we need to do is that we need to add our Git repository to our code base. So if you know already, when we create an application using Angular CLI, it's already initialized on GitHub repository in our local. So what we have to do is that we have to just add our remote repository. So for adding the remote repository, you have to just run this command. So what this command will do is this command will basically add your GitHub repository to your code base. So I'm going here to just add it to my application. So now that my Git repository have got added to my application, the next step is what we have to do is that we have to deploy our application into the GitHub pages. So as of now, you can see there is no code, nothing in there in the repository. Now what we have going to do is that we have to run ng deploy. So when we run the ng deploy, it's basically going to deploy our application into the our repository. Just run this command. It will be taking some time to build our application. So basically this ng deploy, what it will be doing first of all is that there are a lot of default parameter for that this deploy plugin. We can override all of so many of that. I will tell you later on like how we can override some of them. So as of now, what it's going to do, it's going to build our application into the production mode. So first it will be building our application into the production mode. Once the application got built up, then what it will be doing that it will be committing our code into the our GitHub repository with the branch name called GH pages. In that branch, it will be committing. We can even override that branch also. I will tell you how we can override that later on. But first of all, just wait for the few minutes and then we'll be seeing that. So if you'll see from the log that it have just builded our application in the production mode, and these many files have been got generated, and now we'll see the successfully push to the Angular CLI pages. So now if we come to the repository and just refresh the our code base, you will see all our code are there, and if you see the branch name is gh-pages. Now our application has been already deployed. If you want to see what will be the URL, as I mentioned already, it will be this will be the URL. So I'm just going to hit this URL into the browser. Once I hit the URL, you will see, yeah, our application is deployed and keep on running over here successfully. Now if you see that there is the message commit message have been added like auto generated commit. If you want to change this message, if you want to give your own message, then what you have to do along with the ng deploy, there is the one of the flag called message. So message equal to, you can do like suppose first deploy, and if you will add this message, now when this application will be deployed to the GitHub, the commit message will be added, whatever the message we added instead of the default message. This is an official page of Angular CLI GitHub pages, and once you will see over here, there are a lot of parameters which we can configure. So you will see with the option, there is the base href. If your repository is not a base repository, then you have to mandatory add this one, else your application will be not loading properly. Apart from that, we have the CNAME. If you are using the custom domain, in that case you can add the CNAME. Along with that, if you want to add commit the deploy the code to some other repository, in that case you may prefer to add hyphen repo. This is what the message I just showed you, that it will be using this message, the commit. This is the default one, auto generated commit. If you want to override, you have to use this flag. By default, it will be committing to the pages branch. If you want to change the branch, you can use the hyphen branch parameter, and using that you can specify your branch name. Apart from that, there are some other parameter as well that you might come and see over here and you can use it. Yeah, so we have successfully deployed our Angular application on GitHub and it's up and running. So this is how we can automate our deployment and we can deploy the Angular application. And I hope it was helpful for you. Get the notification about the latest video. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on the bell icon to get the notification whenever our latest video get pushed in. Thanks for watching. Happy coding.